Hi, I'm Mabel. I've always been good at keeping secrets, especially the ones that pay the bills. I closed my laptop as Eric walked into our kitchen. Another day, another six-figure deal he knew nothing about. Still in your pajamas at noon? Must be nice not having a real job. Eric grabbed his travel mug, barely looking at me. I had some emails to catch up on. How was your morning meeting? I tried changing the subject. Stressful. Some of us actually have deadlines and bosses to answer to. He checked his watch impatiently. What's your plan for today? Netflix marathon again? I bit my tongue. My afternoon included a conference call with investors and finalizing a contract worth more than Eric made in a year, but I just smiled. Just the usual. This had been our dance for 3 years now. Eric thought I dabbled in online stuff that brought in pocket change while he supported us with his middle management job. The truth was more complicated. My phone buzzed. Sophia texting, "You still on for our lunch today?" Investors confirmed. Who's that? Eric peered over my shoulder. Just Sophia. We're grabbing lunch. Your daily gossip session, huh? Meanwhile, I'm busting my ass at work. I tucked my phone away. It's just lunch, Eric. 2 hours later, I sat across from Sophia in what looked like a casual cafe, but was actually our unofficial meeting spot. The private room in the back had seen more million-dollar deals than most corporate boardrooms. He still has no idea? Sophia asked, reviewing our presentation one last time. None. He thinks I'm a housewife who occasionally sells things online. You mean he thinks you're the founder and CEO of nothing? That's some serious denial. It's easier this way. He gets to feel like the provider. His ego needs it. And you need a better husband, Sophia muttered. Later that evening, I was on my third confidential call when Eric came home. I quickly switched screens to a random online shopping site. Hey, how was work? I asked, closing chat windows from my development team. Exhausting. What are you buying now? He sighed, looking at my screen. Just browsing. I stood up to start dinner. Mabel, we need to talk about our finances. I can't keep carrying us while you sit around all day. I contribute to our bills, I said quietly. Your little online crafts? Please. I saw the bank statement. You made $200 last month. He didn't know about my other accounts, the ones with 6 zeros. I'm thinking about picking up more hours, Eric continued. Someone in this marriage needs to have ambition. I stirred the pasta sauce, wondering how long I could keep playing this game. Behind me, Eric was still talking, listing all the ways I was failing as a wife. Are you even listening to me? This is exactly what I'm talking about. You just sit around all day doing nothing. The sauce bubbled over like my patience was about to. I turned off the stove and faced Eric. I contribute in ways you don't see. Whatever helps you sleep at night. He stormed out of the kitchen, grabbing his keys. I'm meeting Jackson for drinks. Through our neighbor's gossip network, I discovered Eric and Jackson had taken over a corner booth at Flanagan's. I wasn't above having eyes and ears in strategic places. She literally does nothing all day, Eric complained, his voice carrying across the restaurant to my informant's table. I come home to Mabel in the same spot I left her, staring at her laptop. Women like that are parasites, man, Jackson replied. My cousin's ex was the same way, refused to get a real job. At least your cousin got out. Mabel's dragging me down. Do you know how embarrassing it is when people ask what my wife does for work? I called my sister Claire that night, needing someone who wasn't on my payroll to talk to. He's tracking the groceries now, Claire. Actually checking receipts against what's in the fridge. That's insane. Why don't you just tell him about the company? You know why. The minute he finds out, he'll either try to control it or feel threatened by it. Either way, I lose. You're already losing, sis. He's treating you like garbage based on a lie. The next morning, Eric hovered while I made coffee. What's this charge at the Westfield Hotel? A lunch meeting with Sophia? $60 for lunch? Who are you trying to impress with my money? I bit my tongue. It was a business contact. Could lead to something. Your little craft projects aren't business, Mabel. 3 days later, I sat in a private conference room with Victor, my business partner. Quarterly numbers displayed on the wall. "We've crossed the 8-figure mark in revenue," Victor said, sliding over the reports. "The new app launch exceeded projections by 43%. The overseas expansion? Ahead of schedule. Tokyo office opens next month. And the investors? Eating out of our hands. Your strategy was brilliant, Mabel." I allowed myself a moment of pride before checking my watch. I need to be home by 6. Eric has been suspicious. Still playing the housewife? When are you going to tell him you're the M in M&V Tech? When the time is right. The time was decidedly not right when I got home to find Eric at my desk, holding a partial bank statement I'd accidentally left in the printer. "What's this transfer? $10,000 to some account I don't recognize?" "It's complicated." "Are you gambling, having an affair? What exactly are you hiding?" "It's not what you think. I can't do this anymore, Mabel. I work myself to death while you... I don't even know what you do. But I'm done. I want a divorce." The words hung in the air. This was my chance to come clean, to show him the empire I'd built while he belittled me. Instead, I made a different calculation. "If that's what you want. That's it? No fight, no explanation?" I shrugged, already planning my next move. Let him think I was the burden. Let him walk away thinking he'd won. He had no idea what was coming. 2 weeks later, I sat across from Eric in our lawyer's office, watching him smirk as he outlined his generous terms. "I'll let you keep the car and half the furniture. That's more than fair considering your contributions to our marriage." Our mediator shifted uncomfortably. "Mrs. Lancaster, do you have any requests?" "I just want this to be over quickly," I said, playing the defeated wife perfectly. "See? Even she knows she's getting a good deal." Eric leaned back, victorious. What Eric didn't notice was me quietly recording every conversation, documenting every text where he belittled me. Evidence for later. At the neighborhood barbecue that weekend, Eric showed up with a tall blonde on his arm. "Everyone, this is Diana. She's in marketing at my firm." Diana smiled too brightly. "So nice to meet you all. Eric's told me so much about you." I watched from across the yard as Eric paraded her around. Our neighbor Ted approached me with a beer. "You holding up okay?" "I'm fine. Just surprised he moved on so fast." "Not that surprised. They've been having lunch meetings for months." I filed that information away with everything else. Later, I overheard Eric by the grill, surrounded by his friends. "Best decision I ever made, cutting her loose, like removing a dead weight." "What was she even doing all day?" someone asked. "Nothing! Literally nothing! I was basically supporting an adult child." Diana giggled, hanging on his arm. "You deserve someone who matches your ambition, baby." The next day, I met Victor at our office downtown. "The divorce is all over the company gossip," Victor said. "Why are you letting him trash you like this? One press release about our quarterly earnings and he'd be eating his words." "Because revenge served cold tastes better. Trust me on this." "At least tell me you're not letting him take the house." "Actually, I am. That's your biggest asset." "On paper, yes, but I've got other plans." I spent that afternoon with my financial advisor, Marcus. "We need to time this perfectly," I explained. "The divorce needs to be final before the company goes public." "You're deliberately hiding assets worth millions. The court wouldn't look kindly on that." "I'm not hiding anything. The company's in my maiden name. Eric never asked, never cared enough to know what I really do." At the final settlement meeting, Eric pushed for the house. "I've put more money into it. I deserve it." "Fine," I said simply. His lawyer looked surprised. "You're agreeing to that?" "Like I said, I just want this over with." Later that week, I watched Eric and Diana touring the house, planning renovations. "We'll tear out this wall," Eric said. "And Diana hates this kitchen." "It's so basic," Diana wrinkled her nose. "Like your ex." 1 month later, we sat in the courtroom as the judge finalized everything. Eric couldn't stop smiling. "Congratulations, you're divorced," the judge announced. Eric leaned over. "No hard feelings, right? You'll land on your feet, eventually." I just smiled. I always do. 30 days after our divorce was finalized, M&V Tech announced our IPO. I posed for Business Northwest magazine's cover, The Silent Giant, How Mabel Lancaster Built a Tech Empire in Secret. By Wednesday morning, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Have you seen Eric's face? Sophia texted. Someone showed him the magazine at work. Eric called 17 times before showing up at my downtown condo. $500,000 a year? You've been making this kind of money the whole time? Actually, that's just my salary. The company's worth quite a bit more. Why didn't you tell me? All those times I accused you of being lazy, worthless, a burden, yeah, I remember. We need to talk to the lawyers. This changes everything. No, it doesn't. The divorce is final. You hid assets. I didn't hide anything. You never asked. Not once did you show any interest in what I actually did all day. The next morning, Eric's lawyer called mine. Your client fraudulently concealed substantial assets. My lawyer, Helena, just laughed. Her company was registered in her maiden name from before the marriage. All financials were filed properly. Your client simply failed to perform due diligence. At the Regional Business Awards, Victor met me at the entrance. Ready for this? I've been ready for years. Eric stood near the bar with Diana and Jackson, all three freezing when they spotted me. Is that her? Diana asked loudly. The one who tricked you? The MC tapped the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Entrepreneur of the Year with a company valuation that just hit $1 billion, Mabel Lancaster. From the podium, I could see Eric's face turning red. Jackson whispered frantically in his ear while Diana looked sick. After, Eric cornered me by the coat check. I didn't know. If I had known, you would have what? Stayed? Treated me with respect? Too late? I made a mistake. We can fix this. There's no we anymore, Eric. Please, Mabel. I still love you. Funny how that happened right after the billion-dollar valuation. A month later, Eric lost his job. Being known as the fool who divorced a tech mogul wasn't good for client relations. Diana left to greener pastures. He's trying to get invited to the tech incubator event, Claire told me over lunch. Everyone's shutting him out. Not my problem. Do you regret not telling him sooner? I thought about all the nights I worked while he belittled me, all the comments about my worth. Not for a second. My new office had a view of the city. On my desk sat the magazine cover in a frame, not as a reminder of my success, but of how I'd never again let anyone underestimate my worth. What would you have done in Mabel's position? Would you have revealed your success immediately when Eric started belittling you? Or do you think her long-game revenge plan was more satisfying? Was she right to let him divorce her without knowing the truth? If you enjoyed this story of sweet revenge, hit that like button and subscribe for more justice-served stories just like this one. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one.